Ad Victoriam. To victory they march in their suits of power armor, wielding weapons of destruction to eradicate those who stand in opposition. Accompanied by their airships, vertibirds, and Liberty Prime, they are truly a force to be reckoned with in the wastes of post-apocalyptic America. They are the Brotherhood of Steel, made up of many subgroups spread across the states, using their power and influence to hunt down and study pre-war technology, sometimes seeming even like a group of religious fanatics worshipping that technology. However, have you ever taken a moment to ask, who exactly are the Brotherhood of Steel? Starting from the beginning, January 7th, 2077, Colonel Robert Spindle and his team are relocated to the Mariposa military base to keep an eye on the research taking place there. Much later, in October of 2077, Spindle discovered it to be experimentation on prisoners of war using the Forced Evolutionary Virus, or FEV, in an attempt to create super soldiers. However, the results were simply the super mutants we see throughout the wasteland today. This led him to taking his own life, and his second-in-command, Roger Maxson, took leadership of their group. He delved into the files to learn what caused the tragic fate of his friend, interviewing the scientists of the base as well, learning about the inhumane and cruel experiments taking place. He then executed the entire research team for their crimes against humanity. On October 20th, he declared over a radio broadcast that he had deserted the US military. 3 days following this, on October 23rd, 2077, the Great War began with a launch of nuclear weapons across the globe, only lasting 2 hours until the world we knew became the cold and inhospitable wasteland we know in Fallout. Maxson and his team survived the fallout of the war by staying protected inside of the Mariposa military base. The FEV was somehow accidentally leaked into the wastes, however, leading to the creation of many mutated foes. In November of 2077, Maxson decided to relocate his soldiers and their families to the safety of the government fallout shelter Lost Hills. This journey later became known as the Exodus, and from this bunker was where the Brotherhood of Steel was officially founded in 2082. From this shelter, Maxson sent out communication signals all across the wastes to recruit others to his cause. The Brotherhood are dedicated to rebuilding civilization. They are also focused in their pursuit of collecting, preserving, and restoring any pre-war technology they can find. Originally, the Brotherhood of Steel was led by a council of elders, with their head, Roger Maxson, being the High Elder. The Brotherhood has a ranking system that is similar to the modern-day military combined with the rankings of the Church. Starting as an initiate and rising through the ranks of scribes, knights, paladins. Then, if truly worthy, one may even become an elder. Initiates perform menial tasks as they are new and have little training. Scribes are responsible for investigating and recreating new technologies. Knights are responsible for the creation and manufacturing of weapons and new technology. Finally, paladins are in charge of any major operations that take place across the wasteland. The position of High Elder has been passed down through many generations of Maxson, stemming from the original Captain Roger Maxson and making its way through the generations to the current Arthur Maxson, the latest descendant of the Maxson lineage. He first served as a squire in the citadel of the capital wasteland, then over the course of a decade working towards leading them as they are now, a power incomparable to others in the wasteland. As stated by Lancer Captain Kells of the Prydwen, Elder Maxson is the supreme commander of the Brotherhood. Without his tenacity and his vision, we'd still be a small group of complacent stragglers occupying the citadel in the capital wasteland. In a mere decade, he's grown the Brotherhood of Steel into a major military force. There is one doctrine that was added far after their founding that was a result of what happened to Sergeant Dennis Allen of their ranks. He had disappeared, and the Brotherhood dispatched the player character to find him, arriving at one of his last known locations, the Mariposa military base, home to the vast amounts of FEV. Instead, they find an amalgamation of flesh and machine, calling himself the Master. Once a scientist known as Richard Gray, he had accidentally fallen into one of the many vats of FEV and become the monstrosity that he is now. He discovered he was able to absorb the biological mass of others who came near the base, expanding himself and his influence. He used this to abduct others and dunked them into the vats as well to create an army of super mutants. This led to the Brotherhood setting up a new doctrine that would become a defining characteristic during the time of Arthur Maxon, that was to eliminate any and all irradiated abominations from the wasteland. There are many differing branches within the Brotherhood of Steel. The main two being the West Coast, which can be encountered in Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 1, are much more traditional to their founding values, having not deviated much from the Brotherhood's original vision. They treat outsiders with great suspicion. Then, in stark contrast, we have the East Coast Brotherhood of Steel, who have deviated greatly from tradition. They regularly interact with other people of the wasteland, even inducting them into their ranks. This split originated from a decision made in 2254 by the Brotherhood's ruling council based within Lost Hills in Central California. This was to send a contingent of their members to the East Coast with the primary objective of recovering any and all advanced technology that they can from eastern cities and pre-war military installations. They also aimed to liberate and claim Washington, D.C., feeling that they have a claim to controlling the wasteland. This journey did not go without issue, however. Stopping in pre-war Pittsburgh, clearing all who stood in their way. It was here, however, where the Brotherhood led by Elder Lyons disregarded their values and inducted a small group of children they had found into their ranks as squires. This type of occurrence was unknown within the Brotherhood, only ever inducting those who were offspring of pre-existing members. Shortly after this, Elder Lyons and his detachment arrived in the capital wasteland and took up refuge in what was once the Pentagon, renaming it to the Citadel. They were somewhat successful in harvesting technology from the surrounding area, however the infestation of super mutants within the area proved troublesome. They also went against their usual actions here by getting involved in Project Purity, a project which hoped to cleanse the radiation from the waters in the area. This is odd behavior when compared to how the Brotherhood usually acts, keeping to themselves and refusing to help any non-members of their organization. This decision also led to a small defection from the ranks who did not agree with the shift from their code. These defectors would become known as the Brotherhood Outcasts. The biggest difference between the East and West Coast branches of the Brotherhood is the policy, the chain that binds. This is an absolute within the Western Brotherhood, while the East is somewhat more lenient with it. It means to completely remove the individuality and free thinking amongst ranks below the Elders. If we enter the data terminals within the New Vegas Brotherhood chapter, you can locate the information about the chains that bind. The policy reads, "Orders are to flow from high down through the ranks. An order from a superior must always be obeyed, that their wisdom may be carried out without hesitation. Orders are to observe the flow and not skip ranks. A superior may only give orders to his direct subordinates and not to those beneath him. In this way, harmony of intent and cohesion of thought is maintained." This is the defining cornerstone of the Brotherhood according to this very same terminal. This supposed cornerstone is essentially ignored by the Brotherhood of the East Coast during the events of Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. This is shown when both Elder Owen Lyons of Fallout 3 and Arthur Maxon of Fallout 4 give the player character direct orders even when they are just an initiate or even below that. This trend was started by Lyons when he requests that the player retrieve a Gek from Vault 87, directly ordering a non-member of the Brotherhood yet not standing down from his position or facing any repercussions. This change in their stance in the chain that binds is one I believe was necessary to further their cause and expand their ranks to a truly powerful level. Unlike those on the West Coast who do not welcome outsiders and are limited in numbers because of it. Allowing outsiders who are worthy into their Brotherhood allows them an opportunity to have a greater insight into how to truly make the wasteland a better place, not only for its members, but for all of those struggling to simply survive. Their participation in Project Purity is proof of this, in which allowed them to gain some trust and be welcomed by many across the wasteland for assisting in providing clean drinking water to many of its inhabitants. The prosperity of the Eastern Brotherhood is a testament to the necessity of the changes they made. They are not only surviving, but thriving, having an airship and countless vertebrates at their disposal, even acquiring and rebuilding the terror that is Liberty Prime and adding it to their ranks during the events of Fallout 4. After Arthur Maxon took reign of the eastern branch of the Brotherhood of Steel, he reincorporated the Brotherhood outcasts into their ranks and bolstered their numbers. In the process of bringing them back into the organization, he however abandoned Lyon's doctrine, it becoming a distant memory as Maxon restored the original mission of the Brotherhood of Steel. While some found this distasteful and left, there were still many who chose to stay and support the new, more authoritarian path of the Eastern Brotherhood under the leadership of Elder Arthur Maxon. At this time, he was developing and constructing the massive airship known as the Prydwen at the conquered former Enclave facility of Adams Air Force Base, it being completed and beginning full operation in 2282, becoming the new hub and cornerstone to Maxon and his branch of the Eastern Brotherhood. Around the year 2296, the Prydwen traveled across North America to the Los Angeles region, playing a pivotal role in the Brotherhood's mission there. By this point, it appears as if the Commonwealth chapter maintains some degree of influence over other chapters, as their clerics tasked a chapter in the West with tracking down Siggy Wilzig, an Enclave defector. Knight Titus and Squire Maximus were two of those ordered to lead this manhunt, dispatched to search the area of Philly, Los Angeles. Despite this manhunt, Wilzig's artifact, Limitless Energy, fell into the hands of Lee Moldaver. However, the Brotherhood stormed the NCR headquarters at Griffith Observatory, neutralizing them and taking the location, possibly even gaining control over Los Angeles in the process. This is the most recent information we have on the Brotherhood. One of the most well-known groups of the Wasteland, a technological, quasi-religious paramilitary order known for their army of power armor-clad soldiers wielding laser weaponry. Stemming from Lost Hills in the West and spreading across North America through 2 centuries, they have become a power unmatched in most parts of the Wastes, only opposed by the Enclave, the NCR, and the Legion. They may even be able to start a new world order in the near future, one of authority and order under the insignia of Steel. This has been the Brotherhood of Steel. If you did enjoy, please like the video and subscribe. Also, hit the bell icon to be notified when I upload a new video. I would like to say thank you all for 100 subscribers and for all of your support. This has happened so much more quickly than I had ever thought that it would. It means a lot, and I'm looking forward to what the future holds. If you're interested in another Fallout lore video or one about the Elder Scrolls, feel free to check out one of the playlists on screen now. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time.